The Aussie Max Zone.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to show 408 Aussie Max Zone. Zarn, how are you?
Fantastic, Michael. How are you?
Very good, thank you. Very good, yeah. So our Aussie Apple ramblings this week. So we've got, let's see if I can get to the pictures in time. Go up here, go down here, back over here, then click on here. Yay! Apple TV Plus global share grows and gets closer to HBO Max. 9 to 5 Mac. It has been more than 2 years since Apple launched its own streaming platform with exclusive movies and TV shows. Just one sec while I try and get that like that. It's better. Sorry.
Yeah, that's right.
Although Apple TV Plus has been growing slowly, the global market share has increased in the last 5 months, putting Apple's subscription service closer to HBO Max. According to a new report from Just Watch, Apple TV Plus lost some users after Apple reduced the free trial period for new customers in July 2021. Between July and September, Apple TV Plus market share declined below 5%, but the platform regained subscribers in October, surpassing the 5% mark. The influx of new users to Apple TV Plus in that period might be explained by the highly anticipated new shows and seasons that were released in September and October, such as Foundation, Invasion, and the second season of The Morning Show. In February 2022, the global market share of Apple TV Plus was 5.6%, which is still far behind major competitors. Like Disney Plus and Netflix, but it's getting closer to HBO Max. The streaming platform owned by Warner Media lost subscribers last month despite its expansion to more European countries. Just Watch estimates that HBO Max accounts for 7% of the global streaming market share. While highly anticipated releases certainly help it in bringing new customers to streaming platforms, recent research shows that they're not enough to keep those users subscribed for long periods of time. Apple reportedly wants to release at least one new piece of content per week on Apple TV Plus, so perhaps this will put Apple's streaming service on par with other platforms. With thanks to 9 to 5 Mac. Again,
can we get HBO Plus here? I don't think we can we?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Most of our HBO Plus stuff is either on Binge or some of it's on Disney, like the Star. So I think the HBO Plus is probably losing out there without being here, but Apple would need to up its content, I think. Like it's watchable content when you subscribe, because it still has all the iTunes stuff where you can pay and buy episodes and everything. You can almost get anything on that situation as well.
Yeah.
But you have to pay for it. But if they brought in more, I think because they're only doing their own shows.
Yeah.
Where you know, like with Netflix and Binge and all that, they do Showtime, they do even Stan, they do everybody's stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's more of a that sort of platform where your ABC and your SBS are free because they do that. Sort of stuff. So
but I'm happy with what I can get out of it, basically.
Look, I'm not complaining. I'm happy with what I can get out of it too.
Yeah,
I've loved what I've watched. So I haven't watched After Party. Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
I haven't watched that yet, but it looks fantastic.
It is good. Yes.
So I'll have to watch that.
There's one we bring up later on too that we've been watching. It's good too. There's a couple of them. There's a couple out right now that are excellent. like really excellent.
Awesome.
Story 2.
Apple employees evacuate, was it Cupertino campus? Is that how you say it?
Yeah, Cupertino, yeah.
Cupertino campus following potential hazmat situation. First responders found an unidentified substance at Apple Park. Engadget reports Apple ordered the evacuation of a portion of the park headquarters on Tuesday after first responders from the Santa Clara County Fire Department found an envelope containing an unidentified powdery white substance. According to NBC Bay Area, the situation was later resolved and affected employees were told they could return to the building. Officials have yet to say what the substance was that they discovered. Today, still waiting on what it was. So there's more in the show notes about that.
They haven't released what the substance was. Neither's the fire department, and all the jokes have been about, Tim dropped his drugs on the way in, and like that's what all the jokes are about,
Yeah.
So we're happy to keep laughing about it, as long as it wasn't a terrorist attack where,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
As long as someone was just trying to, bake a cake and dropped it on the way.
Drop the flour on the way, yep. Right. Now, and then not admit to it because they don't want to get into trouble for calling it a fire.
I was wondering where that was. My baking powder.
Yeah. Now, Shift 8? Yes. Google could ask for your license or passport on YouTube and Google Play in Australia. In the next month, users will have to provide proof of age if they want to access or download mature content from YouTube and Google Play. ZDNet reports Google has announced it will be expanding age verification checks to users in Australia who want to access age-restricted content on YouTube and Google Play. In the coming month, the search giant will introduce age verification checks where users are asked to provide additional proof of age when attempting to watch mature content on YouTube or downloading content on Google Play. The move is to provide users with age-appropriate experiences, Google Government Affairs and Public Policy Senior Manager Samantha York explained in a blog post. As part of this process, some Australian users may be asked to provide additional proof of age when attempting to watch mature content on YouTube or downloading content on Google Play. If our systems are unable to establish a viewer is above the age of 18, we will request that they provide a valid ID or credit card to verify their age. Google considers a valid ID as one issued by government, such as a driver's license or a passport. The company assured if a user uploads a copy of their ID, it would be securely stored, won't be made public, and would be deleted once a person's date of birth is verified. It noted, however, that we'll not only use a person's ID to confirm their age, but also to improve our verification services for Google products and protect against fraud and abuse. In other words, they're going to use it for more than what they said they would.
Yep, so pass. If I'm over 18, I've got a YouTube subscription anyway. So therefore I've had to pay for that with a credit card. So therefore that verifies me anyway. But if I want to watch a movie or whatever and they're going to ask me for photo ID, they can screw it. I will literally unsubscribe. So yeah.
Well, if it's you and you're paying, and the account's in your name and you're paying, that should be enough, shouldn't it? That they've already proved that you've got a credit card.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It just seems dangerous to me. And they're saying that they're, going to get rid of it, but it only takes a few seconds to be able to get in and get that. So
yeah.
Anyway, story 4. You can now authorize a purchase on your Apple TV with your Apple Watch. Making purchases on Apple TV just got even easier. iMore reports. What you need to know, Apple Watches can now authorize purchases on the Apple TV user. Previously, you had to resort to using their iPhone to authorize a purchase. God forbid. The feature is incredibly convenient as opposed to typing out a password on the Apple TV. Seriously. The Apple Watch and Apple TV are playing together nicely with purchases now. If you had to make a purchase on your Apple TV or Apple 4K, lately you've probably gotten used to using your iPhone to do so. While you used to manually type out or use Siri to enter your password when renting a movie or buying an app, Apple released an update a while ago to tvos and iOS that allowed you to authorize purchases using your iPhone, removing the need to handle it directly on your Apple TV. It was an incredibly useful feature, but the only problem was that in order to use this convenient feature, you need to reach for your iPhone. It seems that Apple thought this could be.
I'd have to put my drink down. You know what I mean?
Oh, you need to give me death. This could be easier because it had brought the same capacity to the Apple Watch. More in the show notes.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. I don't even use my phone. I literally just manually type my password in because it's not that hard.
Just takes time.
Yeah.
Just takes time.
Clearly, we're all a little time, short these days.
All right. Now our ad for Blue Ocean. Let's see.
Fast, efficient and affordable business-grade hosting solutions, domain registration, SSL certificates and more. We also monitor and provide website security and update services, website builds, email hosting amongst other sensational products. If you have a question about your web page or your presence on the internet in general, no job is too big or too small. Visit our website today, or better yet, contact us at blueoceanwebhosting.com.au and leave your website issues to us.
Pow, there we go. Now we've got, if I get the picture up, gaming, sir. We finally got around to doing some gaming.
I did. Populous Run.
Yeah.
Well, this was a fun little game trying to keep your people alive while dodging giant food and jumping large breaks in what seemed to be a bridge. I was running on. Overall, it was an amusing game. I wouldn't play it all the time, but I'd give it a go once in a while. It's sort of one of those things that it's one of those games when you're in a doctor's surgery or you're waiting in line or something like that, and you're just sort of fidgeting. It's one of those. It's a fidget game.
Yeah.
It's not something I would play all the time. The graphics were a little lacking and the sound was very much predictable. It's a very mobile game, if you know what I mean. It seems like it would have been out 5-6 years ago, and I think I've seen it before, to be honest.
I can't say I've seen it before.
Yeah, I've seen something very similar.
Yeah,
and so it didn't
Did the kids try and play it?
Actually, no, they didn't, because I played this while they weren't home.
Uh-huh.
But it is on the television, and I could actually, if I hooked up a controller to it, it might be a little bit more fun.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. I just played it on my phone, and I got bored very quickly.
But I just the bit I was watching, I didn't play it. I only watched it on the Apple Arcade site.
Yeah.
I just thought it looked a bit more kiddies game.
Yeah.
I might be wrong, but yeah.
No, you're right. It would be, like I said, the boys would probably love it because there's giant donuts and, and all that sort of stuff and bickies and and everything like that. And I think the boys would probably enjoy it, and they'd, trying to keep everyone alive and collect the coins and everything like that. I think they would have a good time with it. But for me, it was just predictable. It was a no-brainer. Like, if I was standing in a line waiting for a checkout and I was just sort of needed something to fiddle with, I would definitely do that. I gave it 2.8 apples out of 5.
Yeah.
Again, just because the graphics were, kiddie. The music was the same. Not my kettle of fish. It wasn't a bad game. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying the game was terrible or anything like that, because there was no glitch. It wasn't glitchy. It was smooth. You knew what to do. Like, the playability, very playable.
Yeah.
It was just, for me personally, I'm not really that into that sort of thing. Again, the boys they love that sort of thing. So, yeah, I don't know why Uma Thurman was on our screen. But so that's it. Look, I'll let the boys play it during the week.
Yeah.
And I'll see how many apples they think it's worth.
All right. And hi to Greg on Facebook. How you going?
Yes. Is Greg watching, is he?
Thanks for looking. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Greg. How you doing, man? Actually, I was just about to talk about you.
So, Suspicion Entertainment.
Yes.
That's why I have that picture there. Suspicion is another winner from Apple TV Plus. So the Time Standard reports, sometimes nothing hits the spot quite like a well-paced TV thriller. That is exactly what we appear to be getting from the smart, skillfully crafted 8-episode drama series, Suspicion, based on a viewing of the first 2 episodes, which debuted on Apple TV. Now, co-written by showrunner Rob Williams, Man in the High Castle, co-directed by Chris Long, The Americans, and based on the award-winning Israeli series False Flag, Suspicion hooks you from the opening sequence. We see a young man, we will come to learn is 21-year-old Leon Newman, being abducted from the hallway of a New York City hotel by 5 individuals wearing masks of the British royal family. Soon, the security footage of the masked folks stuffing Leon into a suitcase is uploaded to the internet, setting it on a course to become viral. What follows in the impressively efficient first episode, Persons of Interest, is the arrest of 3 of 5 suspects of being involved with the crime. Initially, at least, Brits Adesh Chopra, which is Kunal Nayar, which you know from Big Bang, and Natalie Thompson, Georgina Campbell, Tara McAllister as Elizabeth Hensbridge, would appear to have nothing to do with Leon's snatching. However, they all were in the New York hotel on that day, coincidentally or otherwise. We believe it's not so coincidental that a 4th suspect was there, as almost from the moment we are introduced to Sean Tilson, which is Arles Gabel, aboard a plane, he's engaging in some sort of criminal activity. This is a man with the expertise and resources to avoid the authorities, and we see during Persons of Interest, a 5th suspect is identified in the show's notes. Tom Harris, Eddie Walker, is not introduced in the first 2 installments of Suspicion, but he is there and goes on. Now, I've been enjoying the show. I prefer UK-based shows for some reason, and crime shows are no exception. So, yeah.
I'm with you on that. I prefer UK-based crime shows. I don't know why. Maybe because they're a little bit more similar to what would go on here than the American ones with all the guns and and everything like that. So I agree with you. I haven't seen this yet. I have seen the shorts for it. It looks good.
Mm-hmm.
But I will watch it because I love a good crime drama. So yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is good. It is very good. Yep. And we've already gone down one track and then go, no, that's not what's happening. So yeah. So we've got another one that we've been watching, The Last Days of Ptolemy Grey. The wife and I have been enjoying also The Last Days of Ptolemy Grey, starring Samuel L. Jackson as Ptolemy Grey, an ailing man forgotten by his family, by his friends, and even by himself. Suddenly left without his trusted carer and on the brink of sinking even deeper into a lonely dementia, Ptolemy is assigned to the care of an orphan teenager, Robin, played by Dominic Fishback. When they learn about a treatment that can restore Ptolemy's dementia-aided memories, it begins a journey towards shocking truths about the past, the present, and the future. The 6-episode limited series debuted on the 11th of March with the first 2 ever, followed by 1 episode every week. Yes. Excellent.
This looks fantastic. I'm so interested in this. Not just, because of the premise, but I know Samuel L. Jackson is an amazing actor and puts his everything into every role he does.
Yeah.
Even Snake on a mother effing plane. So yeah, I really do look forward to watching that one.
Excellent. Now, what are we going to talk about Greg for?
Oh yeah, so Greg has his own company, Michael.
Yeah.
Which you might be familiar with because he works in the tech industry.
The poor bugger.
So, I know. Yeah, so his company is called Simple Tech. His website simpletech.net.au. He does Mac, iPad, and PC.
Yeah.
He's mainly in the Illawarra area. He does branch out to Sydney and the Highlands occasionally.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's mostly, down Wollongong and that area. So if you have any, PC, Mac, iPad needs down that way, simpletech.net.au is the company to call.
Sorry, what was the name again?
That's simpletech.net.au.
Excellent.
So
I'm proud of him because you put AU on the end of it.
Sorry?
I'm proud because you put AU on the end of it.
I know.
A lot of people
have the AU.
Don't do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Proud of it.
So yeah, you can. If you go onto his website, I'm sure you'll find his email, his number, all that sort of stuff. So if you need any help, you can email him. I'm sure, call him. That sort of thing. And he's your guy in the Illawarra area.
Yep, absolutely.
Yep.
Excellent. Thank you, Greg.
Thank you.
So, Universal Control and Spatial Audio launches on Mac with Mac OS 12.3. Now, Apple users can now work seamlessly between a Mac and an iPad. CNET again. After a stint in beta, the Universal Control and Spatial Audio features are now available to all Mac users via the Mac OS 12.3 update. The Universal Control feature is still marked under beta, however, meaning users might run into issues when trying to seamlessly move windows between iPad OS and Mac OS. Now, Universal Control was first announced at WWDC in 2021 and makes dual screen applications run seamlessly between devices. This means that a user can move an illustration from iPad to a Mac, a laptop, or desktop with a single drag of the mouse. While exciting, the feature was quietly delayed late last year. In terms of compatibility, it's available on any Mac from 2016 onward and any 6th generation iPad or newer. The feature doesn't work between 2 iPads. A Mac must be included in the chain, and there's more on the show notes. And the only issue that I've heard about is you if you're using the iPad keyboard to type on the Mac, when you've moved something from the iPad over to the Macs, for example, there can be a little bit of delay. That's the only one that I've heard of. And yeah, you can have two Macs and an iPad. Like it's that cool, and it is really cool. And you may as well make use of your iPad to just give you that extra bit of screen. You know, you might have your calendars on there or your emails on there if you're waiting for something urgent, but you're focused on what you're doing on the big screen. Just have your iPad there, and then you can just move across, type a reply to the email, and come back. It's like it's that easy. It just works out where it's meant to be and all that sort of stuff. So I can recommend it. Absolutely.
Excellent.
Yeah. And now
just on typing with the remote for the Apple TV, I don't actually use the remote to put my passwords or anything like that. I just use my phone. It comes up. It gives me the choice to type it out on my phone, and then I just type it out on my phone. That seems to be a lot quicker, a lot easier.
It is if you make it, especially when you make a typing mistake. Because you got to scroll all the way to the right hand side to get the arrow, and then come back to where you want.
I know where with the phone you can hold down the space bar, go in, bang it, and then it's much better. Again, using your watch and stuff like that. But I understand the convenience of it all. I just think it's funny, because we really are. I see shows like Wall-E, for instance, Disney's Wall-E.
Yeah.
When we're all in space. All our bones have gone smaller. Anything we want at a tap at our wrist, and we're all just big tubs of lard.
That's what I do now.
I know you're reclining. You're like, I need this.
I use my watch for turning the bedroom fan on and off, turning the bedroom air conditioner on and off, turn the lights on downstairs brighter. When someone comes to the door, turn the entrance light on, which is the inside one, because the outside one's already on at sunset. That comes on automatically before sunset.
Yeah. And so I don't know. Look, I love the convenience, but the old punk in me is fighting it. And so I just think
first world troubles, mate. First world troubles.
It really is first world troubles. It really is. I would rather use my phone than my watch.
I'm happy to use my watch to go tap and put my password in and start watching the movie.
Fair enough.
But I am lazy.
Fair enough. Yeah, so am I. Like if I had a watch, I probably wouldn't be saying any of this, but I don't have a watch, so. Yeah. Anyway, right. We better get on to the next how-to, I guess. Turn a slow old laptop into a speedier Chromebook for free.
Yes.
Now, CNET helps us with this one. Do a web search for how to install Chrome OS on a laptop or anything like that, and you'll likely discover that it can't be done, at least not the same way that you're able to install the latest Windows OS or a version of Linux. Google's Chrome OS isn't available for consumers to install, but you can get the next best thing. Neverware's cloud-ready Chromium OS. Cloud-ready looks and feels nearly identical to Chrome OS, but it can be installed on nearly any laptop, desktop, wherever, Windows or Mac. And although Neverware has paid versions for enterprise and education users, its home edition is for free. So that's personal use. You can do it for nothing. You don't get tech support, and it can't be managed with Google Admin console, but again, free. Google acquired Neverware in December of 2020, and in February 2022, it announced the first public fruits of that acquisition. Chrome OS Flex, a more robust version of Cloud Ready that's still free for home use. A stable release of Chrome OS Flex is expected to roll out in the second quarter of 2022. At that time, computers already running Cloud Ready will automatically update the Chrome OS Flex. Until then, you can download and use an earlier version. Though the company cautions that you should expect bugs while it's improving the system. However, the current version of the Cloud Ready Home Edition is still available. It was incredibly helpful to me during the pandemic early days, converting an old HP notebook that could barely function under the weight of Windows 10 into a Chromebook capable enough of schoolwork online through Google Classroom and other services. To be clear, you do not need a Chromebook or a Chrome OS to access Google Classroom. Any web browser will work. However, it's easiest to use Google free Chrome browser, where your child just needs to sign in to their classroom account, aka G Suite for Education. If you do this in Chrome through your if you do this through Chrome though, you can install the Classroom web apps to simplify things for the next time they sign in. Switch to a Chrome or a Neverware Cloud Ready will give your child a more sort of secure, controlled environment than working in a browser on a Windows PC or Mac.
Yeah. So if you've got
you're not going to adaptively install malware or a virus or access things your school district is blocked. Plus, since everything stays synced with their account, it's easy for multiple kids to use one device.
Yeah.
I've done this multiple times. I had 4 old PC laptops here that were just sitting, not being used, and I donated them to kids that needed laptops at school. They did get the full version of Chrome because it's a school. But where we did it, we took them in and they were slow old laptops, turned into Chromebooks. They were excellent.
That's right.
And the good thing about them, all these old laptops, they were big. They had the big screens, everything like that. So where the other kids had all their little Chromebooks that were tiny, the kids that we had donated to these had, big screens and were able to do everything the other kids were doing, but they were on a larger screen and they were stoked with the performance of these old laptops turned into Chromebooks.
Absolutely.
I think it's a really good idea. It is an exceptional way to reuse old PC laptops and things like that. You know, even if you don't have kids at school, if you have old laptops just lying around, you can donate them to the school. And their IT guy should, definitely should be able to turn them into Chromebooks.
Yeah, but it's like
that are disadvantaged and don't have a laptop, so that these ones could be donated and used for kids that don't have them.
It's their how can you say? Even if you've got your older parents, and they still want to do things with their but you don't really need to buy a new laptop. The laptop's working fine, just that you haven't got an up-to-date operating system to make it secure, but they still want to do their banking or look at stuff and look at their share portfolio or whatever. It's good for that sort of stuff too.
And a Chromebook are fantastic for that sort of stuff. It really is. And like I said, you don't need much at all, and they will run and do everything somebody like that or a kid at school needs. So that's why we'd that's right. Like it does say you go in the landfill, mate. And
that's right.
And we're all about that, So any old laptops that you got, if you're thinking about getting rid of them, please think of the schools first. Mostly high schools, primary schools and stuff like that normally don't use them. They might in year 6 and stuff like that, but high schools are the ones that normally need them. And
it's
so
it's a great thing.
in an area that close to a high school and you have some old laptops and stuff like that, please donate them. Yeah.
So we've also got which one? This one. Yeah. Now this one caught me out the other day.
Yeah.
Have Telstra turned on 5G for all customers? Driving along on Sunday, I noticed that the signal advisor on my iPhone 12 mini showed 5G. It was changing between 5G and 3G while I was driving in the country outer metro areas, but a steady 5G at home in Penrith and everywhere else I go now too. I tested when I got home and got 308 megabits download, and that's better than my 80 plus megabits on my 100 megabit NBN fiber network. I've not signed up for faster speeds, and when I got my phone and went to eSIM, Telstra wanted more per month for the 5G privileges, so I declined as there was not much of 5G around anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Have they turned it on for everyone? I don't know. Appears to have.
Well, that's excellent.
Yeah. And it's definitely noticeable.
Well, 300 down is awesome. So
Yeah.
I get 200, 220 down here. So, that's better than my NBN.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So, Apple Watch.
Yes.
Greg says, I believe they are advertising a 5G trial at some stage, but heard it costs like $15 a month. That's what you were talking about, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They wanted $15 more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I couldn't justify it because it was like in the city and you had to be standing next to that building because of the short wave effects of some 5G services. Now, maybe they've turned on this new medium wave, I think it's called, 5G as well. So you get, depending on where you are, what you get. But yeah.
All right. So Apple Watch firmware can now be restored from an iPhone running iOS 15.4.
Yeah, and this is
They're
important.
9 to 5 Mac again. Apple Watch doesn't have any data ports accessible to users, which means that only Apple is able to repair your watch if there's a firmware failure. Luckily, iOS 15.4 and watchOS 8.5 introduce a new tool to let users wirelessly restore the Apple Watch firmware using their iPhone. Shortly after releasing iOS 15.4 and watchOS 8.5, the public on Monday, Apple updated its support article with information on what users need to do if their Apple Watch stops working. Interestingly, with the old version of the article instructed users to contact Apple support to set up mail-in repair, the article now reveals that users may be able to restore the Apple Watch firmware themselves. If for some reason your Apple Watch stops working, such as when it crashes during the update process, an alert will appear on your iPhone asking you to restore the Apple Watch. Your Apple Watch might show an animation asking you to bring it closer to your iPhone. If your watch experiences a problem that requires it to be updated or restored, you might also see a red exclamation point on your watch. If your Apple Watch with watchOS 8.5 or later displays an animation showing a watch and iPad being brought closer together, follow these steps. According to Apple, both the iPhone and Apple Watch need to be running the latest versions of iOS and watchOS, and Wi-Fi and Bluetooth need to be turned on your phone. The Apple Watch needs to be put on charger during the process, and the user will have to press the side button twice to start the restore process. The company acknowledges that even the new tool may not be able to recover your Apple Watch. In this case, the watch will show a red exclamation mark icon, so you'll have to take your Apple Watch to an Apple store or authorized repair shop, such as IT Help to You, or if you're in Wollongong, it's SimpleNet. SimpleTech, isn't it? Yeah. Something SimpleTech. Places like that. Take your Apple Watch to an Apple store or authorized repair. There's more information in the show notes. I said that twice just to make sure you understood. That's right.
Yep.
We're professional.
Yeah, because it's, tells you how to do it. So
That's right.
So, anything else you'd like to say?
What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Did I talk about Angel last week?
Angel?
No? Excellent. I'm talking about it now.
What are you talking about your mother-in-law for?
Oh, she's such an angel. No. So Disney Plus, which is obviously on Apple TV, has now the back catalogue of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Angel, which is the spin-off. It's also got the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie, which are all great if you're into that sort of stuff. I'm totally into that sort of stuff. It's fine. I'm a 90s kid. I grew up on it. I love this nerdy, junk. Almost swore. So yeah, if you're interested, get in there, get binge watching Angel, Buffy, all that sort of stuff. It's so bad. It's so terrible. Angel is so teenage angsty from the 90s. It's not even funny. Like it's so broody, and I really enjoy it. It reminds me, and it makes me realize how broody and angsty I was as a teenager. And so it's very funny. It's not to be taken seriously, that's for sure, but it's some great B grade action.
Good.
And so yeah, check it out. What else have I been watching? Lots of Taskmaster. I love Taskmaster. Also on Channel 10, I've been watching the new Would I Lie to You? It's the Aussie version of Would I Lie to You?
Yeah.
That's been pretty good. And yeah, that's about it from me. That's just what I've been doing during the week.
I've been enjoying Not Going Out, which is on YouTube.
Yep.
With Lee Mack in it. Like,
oh, is that all on YouTube, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
And like they drop it's dropped once a week.
Yeah.
And they're old ones. They're not all in order or anything like that.
Yeah,
but it's also like they'll drop a 5-minute segment, and then they'll drop the whole segment a couple of days later.
Yeah.
It cracks me up. Again, British comedy, love it.
British comedy, British drama, love it all.
Yeah.
If you're watching, listening on the podcast or watching us on YouTube or whatever, you know that we love British comedies and British dramas. It's pretty much all the only thing we really watch. It's all of us. My wife loves it. Not at all.
You or the drama?
Yes.
Or your drama? Yeah.
Yes. Yes, to both. All three.
All right.
All right.
So, thanks to Blue Ocean Web Hosting and
simpletech.net.au
for their support
in the Illawarra area.
Yep. And the show promotion, the show notes link each week on the show upload. The link being this week,
AussieMaxZone.com.au/AMZ408. There you'll see the last 6 weeks of show notes.
Yes, and you can email Michael or Zarn at AussieMaxZone.com.au.
Whatever you want. Well, not whatever you want. Like, don't be weird about it. But, like if you've got some tech, questions and stuff like that, then, gaming, like where to find, you know, these British comedies on YouTube. We'll drop a link if you like.
Yeah.
You know, all that sort of stuff. Yeah. No weird stuff. All right? Right. However you listen to us, please give us a rating and a like. Click that bell.
Yeah.
If you're on YouTube, click the subscribe wherever you are. We want you to follow us. We would follow you. It's been weird.
So, thanks to supporters, you, our listeners and watchers. Thanks for dropping by. And over to Zarn for our sign-off.
All right, guys. Remember, stay safe. Remember, an apple a day keeps the androids away. Bye.
Which one is it? That one.